Welcome. I can't say it. Welcome to episode number 780 of Hard Factor. It is Monday, September 27th, 2021. We got Mark, Pat, and I'm Will. Wes is off today. He's sweating somewhere in Texas, holding a camera, pointing at a wedding. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. Today, we're talking about all the trending news from over the weekend. Massage parlors.
Oh, wait.
TikTok.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see with my lead-in. We're talking about other stuff. A business in New York.
Mm-hmm. It's a secret. And then TikTok International Moment. Where's that taking us, Pat?
Oh, we're going to England, and then we're taking our pants off in India, hanging out for a bit.
Hey,
nice.
Well, it sounds like we're grabbing some hooch wine then.
We could be. I don't know.
Yeah.
We're going to be listening to some tunes. We're going to go to court.
Okay.
You guys are going to love it.
Sounds
Sweet.
pretty fun. Quick aside, lots of whale energy out there over the weekend. Not sure if you guys saw that, but there was the whale that swallowed the kayaker.
Yeah.
I don't think they died. And then there was the woman's boat who was surrounded by orcas. They did not attack her, even though there was a seal on her boat, and they clearly could have attacked her.
They wanted the seal. They were like giving her. They gave her like a countdown. She had 10 minutes to give up the seal, or the boat.
They wanted
was
it, but
going
they
down,
didn't
too.
act. There's just a lot of evidence that whales are powerful and majestic and in control, honestly. Out
They're in
the
total
seas.
control.
Could have been a long play. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, just think that they're just. I'm just inching closer to that orca tattoo.
I don't know. Like, obviously, there's
I love that
recency
idea.
bias, and we brought for sure. Get the orca tattoo.
And maybe like the Native American word for orca, too, or something sweet like that.
Wouldn't
Yeah.
it be orca? Probably. I don't know. We'll see.
Or a name of an orca if you had an orca. What you
What's
would
the
name it?
etymology of orca?
I'm going to look that up. Mark,
It comes from hell. But like, why do we keep seeing all these videos all of a sudden? Is it because we did the whale video?
It's
whale
because
stuff, or is it because the whales?
There's a lot of anti-whale propaganda. No, there's a lot of anti-whale propaganda. Like
think
you
the whales
guys
are
like
starting to take over.
You guys like to drum it up, and then the whales they're acting their part. They're doing their part to show humanity what they're all about, what they're really all about.
I'm getting a little bit of a machine lord vibe, where you're trying to like be nice to the machines just in case they take over. You're trying to be nice to the whales just in
love
case
the
they take
whales.
over.
Are you asking
Cherish the whales, honestly.
if there's been glitches in the Matrix as of late? Is that what you're saying, Mark?
No,
'Cause
I
I've
mean,
been
well,
noting
sure.
There's like a ton of coincidences, like too many. Like it's weird.
I just think the whales are starting to purposefully take over. But
It's no coincidence that whales are
be a
powerful
glitch in the Matrix.
and majestic and the kings of the sea, really.
So it's Latin. It's from the Latin word orca, which
Killer?
is
Which
means
killer.
Which means
cetizen.
The best?
kind of a whale, or the king of whales.
The king of whales. Yeah, exactly.
stay away.
Exactly. No, I mean that's what they are. They're the king of whales. They're just, it's awe-inspiring when you see them out there doing their thing. Don't forget trivia. Send in the card tier. Patreon.com/hardfactor. Trivia this Friday, October 1st. Big time. See if anybody can take Mark down from his throne.
Come get it.
He's won the last two. You've won the last two. Although you haven't won all of them, thankfully. So.
No, I'm gonna be so drunk for this one too. I mean, the team's gonna have to step it up.
Yeah.
But I'll be there.
Anything else? Anything else before we hop into it? Before we do the news?
Oh, just that I'm pulling together some sick parlay pool that we're gonna be having on the Discord for the Send in the Car tier members. So, just did a little programming this weekend. Little app development. Speaking of the data updated, so more on that soon. But you're gonna want to get in.
Nice. This is the Moneyline parlay, 16-team parlay every week.
Yeah,
We just have to go 16 for 16. That's it.
that's all we got to do,
simple.
bro.
Yeah.
If we put our hive mind together, very possible. Mark suggested maybe we throw both a money line option, and then also a spread option, which I like. So I'm going to look into see if we can't do that as well.
Smart. The spread one's going to be way easier to hit than the money line, I think.
Yeah, but just get ready to get rich.
There we go. I love it. We're going to talk a little bit more in just a minute about why you should join the Discord, especially for the gambling features. Anything else, though? Are we good? Let's do the news. Cup of coffee in the big time is up first.
Yeah, cup of coffee in the big time.
Holidays, history, and trending news. But first, a couple of fun facts today. It's 2 follow-up fact checks from last week. The movie I was referencing, was Rocky II, with the stance switch at the end where he goes back to his original natural southpaw to beat Apollo. So it was actually just one of the most famous boxing movie of all time, and I couldn't come up with the name off the top of my head. None of us could. It was crazy.
But the Princess Bride still stands in the sword fight.
Right, where he switched hands. It's true, but it's Rocky 2. That's
you were thinking of Rocky 2, yes.
Most people who listen to the stance switch, I think, probably were thinking of Rocky 2.
Who's the bad
when
guy in
Mickey
Rocky
yells
2?
it from the ropes, he's like, "Now, Rock, now!" And remember, then he switches.
Yeah,
and
but in
pounding
Princess
Apollo.
Bride, they make a huge thing of it too, and it was just the 35th anniversary of the Princess Bride yesterday.
What's a bigger movie, Rocky 2 or Princess Bride?
Princess Bride.
Bride, bigger movie.
Princess
Rocky
Bride.
1.
No way.
Rocky 1
2.
arguably bigger.
Rocky 2 is the biggest Rocky.
Rocky 1's way bigger than
win
No,
an
it's
Oscar?
not. Rocky 2 is the biggest Rocky. It's the one where he wins the belt. Rocky 1's nothing.
Well, that has the happiest ending for Rocky. That doesn't mean it's the biggest movie.
Rocky
that they
2
made.
does numbers.
What do you mean the biggest Rocky?
That's the one everybody's like, have you seen Rocky? They're talking about Rocky 2 when he wins the title.
No, they're not.
They're talking about
Rocky
Rocky
1 literally won.
First of all, they're talking about Rocky 4.
With-
in
no, that's
Russia.
with-
And
with-
second
oh,
of
with
all,
Drago?
yes. When they're talking about Rocky, they're talking about Rocky 4. First of all,
They might
And
be
then-
talking about Rocky 5 with Tommy Gunn. You never know.
Yeah, maybe not.
Do you guys want to know? Do you guys want to know what the highest grossing Rockies are?
Yeah,
Sure.
it's
Is it
gonna-
one? Is it
I'm gonna
number
run it
one?
down for you guys real quick. Rocky 4, number 1, with 127 million lifetime gross. Rocky 3, number 2, 124 million. Rocky is number 3. 4, Creed 2, 5, Creed 6, Rocky 2, 7, Rocky Balboa.
Oh my God.
8, Rocky 5, 9, Rocky 3. No one likes Rocky 3. That was the re-release, I guess.
Wait a minute, you just said Rocky.
You said
3
Rocky
was
3 was
two
number
overall.
2.
Right, so it is number 2 and number 9.
How's that possible?
Well,
It's
you're
just-
on a fucked up site.
Okay, Pat's stats don't count. Pat's
doesn't
stats
matter.
He's clearly confused.
Hold on.
Clearly confused.
Hold on.
This doesn't count.
Let me finish. It doesn't
We
matter.
have a second fact. We got
doesn't matter.
We got to move on to the second.
Let me finish.
fact.
It doesn't matter because Rocky 3, the re-release in 1983 only grossed 902,000, which is smaller than the difference between Rocky 4 and Rocky 3. And
That's
Rocky.
fair if you combine the two. Rocky 3 is trash.
It's trash. How is that
it's-
number 2?
Rocky 3 is the second worst one. Rocky 5 is the worst one than Rocky 3. But
You know why
anyways,
Rocky 4 crushed the hardest is because it was him versus the Russians, and,
Well, Russia
and
versus
America
USA.
loves fighting the Russians, but not actually fighting them. We love.
He
that.
called him.
Cold War.
Drago called him like a piece of tin metal. He's like, I don't understand why he won't go down. He's like a piece of scrap metal.
Yeah. I can't believe Rocky 2's. I mean, really. Okay, one more fun fact. Fact check. It was our boy Al Green who came up with "Tis the Season" merch line on the Discord chat. Chris Shadamas was also jacked up, as was I. We reacted at the same time.
Gotcha.
My wires got crossed. Our boy Al Green made "Tis the Season." That's the idea, and
Good
it's almost
idea.
"Tis the Season" thanks to Al Green.
I mean, in my household, it is the season, and if we get the merchandise up, I'll start buying it now.
Right, you got your tree up already.
Yeah.
So.
Just real quick before we move on. Better Cold War fighting movie. Okay, Rocky 4,
Or Red Dawn.
Red Dawn.
Rocky 4.
Probably Rocky 4.
They came to our house in Red
Rocky
Dawn.
4 for sure. Oh, speaking of Tiz, though, I'm wearing the full flavor tie-dye Tiz tee. You guys can see
I like
it.
that one, yeah.
It's really nice. You can see, though, the Tiz. I mean, I still prefer the light tie-dye over the full flavor, but, you know.
You want Tiz to be the star, not the tie-dye.
We got to ask them to start printing a white Tiz-shaped base before they put the Tiz down. Is probably what we got.
Well,
do there.
yeah, on the tie-dye, it's tough. On the
I
full
kind of like it. I feel like I'm on drugs looking at your chest.
But Tiz doesn't, you know the problem with Tiz is he doesn't give you enough
Solid.
time to put down a base coat. He hasn't posed long enough.
No, I mean, it's
gotta
very
slap
Tiz-like.
him on. Yeah,
It's right on. I mean, it's right in line with the Tiz theme.
yeah.
Okay. That's the facts. Couple fact checks. All right, moving on. September 27th, holidays. It is Ancestor Appreciation Day, Crush a Can Day, Family Day, eat dinner with your kids day. I guess
I
it's
would
the
hope
same,
you do that
same thing.
most days. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, does everybody really eat dinner all the time together, though?
My family used to every night, which was nice.
Every night?
Every night
Yeah,
they did.
that's
Yeah.
nice. That's a good.
Yeah, we
that's
used
a
to
good-
do it.
It's a good tradition.
Not every night 'cause my dad worked nights, 3 nights, 4 nights a week. But yeah, most nights.
Every night. Wow.
Eat dinner with your kids most nights, guys. You know.
There you go.
Don't make it a September 27th thing.
You can technically just make it a September 27th thing. Google's birthday. Nice, Google. Morning show host day. So congrats to us. Congrats, you guys. We did it.
Congrats. Back
We
to
made
you
it
guys.
to morning show.
We
host
did
today.
it, guys. It's our day.
Way to go. That is National Chocolate Milk Day, National Corned Beef Hash Day, National Gay Men's HIV/AIDS Awareness Day, and World Tourism Day.
I had that on Friday.
No, that was just HIV/AIDS Awareness Day. This is Gay Men's HIV.
Yeah, it was
September
pretty much
is
word for word. It's the whole
really
month.
September's AIDS month, so
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
not surprising.
Just pointing it out.
You don't want
So they
them
had
to have
they
2
had
days,
that
huh?
twice.
No, they can
They've
have
got
2
it-
days. That's fine.
Okay.
You
have
got
as
it on
many
the
days as they
24th and the 27th.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's fine.
Pretty
Don't
greedy.
like where you're going with that, Mark?
Pretty greedy.
I was already aware of it. I don't need to be more aware of it. I can't pull over any further.
That's a good point. You know, speaking of Ancestor Appreciation Day, in my family, everybody's got the same fucking like birthmark on the back of their neck, and they say that it's because one of our ancestors was killed to the back of their neck at some point. That's what like some Eastern European folklore says.
Who says
And
that?
so-
Who says that? The machines, like what Pat mentioned, the Matrix, where they plug
No,
in.
no. Like it's like a folklore thing. If you have like a recurring birthmark on the same that goes down the generations of family, my daughter's got it now too. So
Dude,
like,
my
and
son
one
has
night-
it.
One night I had a dream that I was an old school guy in America, like on a creek, and somebody fucking shot an arrow through the back of my like neck.
Ooh, could have
And
been
then it was like,
could have
what
been
if that was the
imagining
ancestor?
it. Yeah.
What if I was in the ancestor's shoes?
I got one right
In the dream.
underneath my banus before it gets to my asshole. So did someone get someone get stabbed in the banus? Someone get speared up the ass? Is that what's going on? Oh, that's a painful way to go. I'm glad I wasn't that ancestor.
Yeah. You got one too, Pat? You got one?
My
of these
son has
generational-
one, and Kate has
generational
one.
birthmarks.
Yeah, we got one.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's on. It matches. Kate's matches his. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So there's something in there's folklore. Hey, look, there's tons of neck birthmarks in my family. It's crazy. It's too coincidental. It's all in the same spot.
I feel horrible for my ancestor that got killed via banus. Maybe it was a sex thing.
I think there's some truth to it, man. With
All right.
all that, like that's a lot of. All right, today in history, September 27th. First one up, big one, year 1066. The Norman Conquest began. That's where William the Conqueror left Normandy to go take over England, which he did. And then England was basically like part French ever after that because they were dominated by the Normans. In 1777, September 27th, the U.S. capital was Lancaster, Pennsylvania for one day when the Continental Congress had to flee Philadelphia and eventually relocate to D.C.
Yeah, that's like when people
Classic
like
Lancaster.
Yeah.
That's like when Mark says he lived in Wales. You know, like he went to Wales. You know,
A state in Wales.
yeah,
Yeah, he lived there for
I guess
a short period of time.
And I guess the capital was in Lancaster.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
In 1918, September 27th, the British launched the final attack of World War I on Germany's Hindenburg Line. So Hindenburg had some bad connotations in history. It's like pretty much always bad there with that name. In 1954, September 27th, the NBC Tonight Show debuted with Steve Allen as its host. Sad for Steve Allen because nobody remembers him, but it went on to be like Jay Leno, Conan.
How bad did he do?
Jimmy Fallon, Johnny Carson. He was only on for 3 years, so don't know. 1954 to 1957. In 1996, September 27th, the Taliban claimed control over Afghanistan for the first time.
Man,
Wouldn't you know it?
I'll tell you what, Taliban leadership had to put some word out this week to tell the Taliban soldiers to quit taking selfies all over the place and get back in line. Because they've been having a little bit too much fun over there with their selfies, with their AKs, and yeah.
Yeah, in the swan boats.
I saw some in bumper cars.
Yeah.
When you win, it's good to be the winner, I guess.
Yeah.
Take the spoils.
That'll definitely be a taunting call in the NFL, what they're doing. They'd be getting a lot of flags.
Yeah, well, they're not fucking. We know that. So
Nobody could have foreseen it, guys. In 2008, the Chinese performed their first spacewalk on September 27th. And that's
late.
history.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's pretty
way
late.
late.
a little late if you ask
That's
me.
why I included it because it's pretty. it's
Where did
pretty
they
behind
walk?
the curve? Like they were like fixing something on the outside of a shuttle,
Fucking pussies.
And then they were proud of that in 2008.
Yeah, I mean it was like that's
Okay.
like 70 years behind America and the Russians. Yeah, so I mean not.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to the trending news. Honorable mentions up first. There's a shitload of them. Sadly, an Amtrak train derailed in Montana on Saturday, leaving at least 3 dead and 50 or more than 50 injured. So not good. Sorry to anybody who's affected by that. That's terrible. Last thing you'd expect when you get on the train. That's going to happen. The Biden administration ended up letting 13,000 or more Haitians stuck at the Texas border in Del Rio into the U.S. over the weekend. After flip-flopping on the plan to deport most of them via plane, only 4,000 got sent home by plane before everybody else ended up getting let in.
Tough to be part of that 4,000.
Oh, yeah. Real tough.
Wait, what? Them? Me? What? What do you know? Yeah. There's a lot of that. And then a lot of, if you're in, be like, sorry, man.
Hey, do you want to change ruggedy shirts with me real quick? Why?
So shitty for the first 4,000.
Hey, man, I'll totally, once I get in there, I'm totally going to see if I can get you backstage.
Yep.
No,
it actually turned out they just needed to hide, though. And then if they hid long enough,
one extra day.
Basically, they just opened the gates because they were like, it's a crisis. We can't have it on TV anymore. We're letting them all in.
It's such a tough call, right? Because unless you have inside information, it's like free flight home and you get to get out of the bridge quicker, but then you end up not getting it to the U.S. So it's tough.
I'll tell you what happens when you get backstage. You get too messed up and you forget that you left the person out in the crowd. You don't even try.
I mean, but if you're backstage, you're backstage.
It's a big ask when you get back there being like, hey, man, I know I'm back here and everything, but I got a buddy. He's a dude.
Yeah. They don't even. Yeah, you were already probably like pushing it, and then
unfortunately for the Haitians, though, in this example, the Haitians got 13,000 people backstage, and 4,000 just got kicked out of the club.
That's pretty good.
So, yeah,
good ratio. That's what I'm saying. It's tougher for the people.
Like
that
a Lil
didn't
Wayne
get it.
concert, right?
Yeah.
He's got a big posse.
Yeah. Speaking of way too old politicians in Biden, Chuck Grassley is running for Iowa Senate again at the age of Skeletor years old. And Lindsey Graham wants Donald Trump to run for president again in 2024.
Oh, does Lindsey Graham want that? Why is that even worth saying, Lindsey Graham?
Because I was talking about old politicians.
No, I'm not you. Lindsey Graham saying that.
A lot of people are saying it.
Of course they're saying it. That's my point.
So Grassley, obviously Biden's very old. Trump,
Grassley's even older.
Trump too old to run again. Grassley's 88. Why are we? I know.
He's the fuck out of there.
He's currently 88. I know that he's been
wants to be
in Iowa for 40
like
years.
Or whatever.
I'm sure
94.
Iowa loves him or whatever the fuck's going on there, and he's going to win easily.
He still runs every morning. He says he's healthy enough to do it. But I mean, there should be a limit. That's ridiculous.
You don't let someone that's 88 run for a job that goes another 6 years.
Small state senators, state senators and judges, man, you can't get those fucking people out of politics.
I would wager to say as well.
Look at the guy in the White House.
And,
I know.
And I know this is something people say, but I would wager to say that where we're at today, because of exponential growth of technology, someone who is 88, right, compared to someone who's, 35 when you can run for Senate, it might be the same age difference, but it's the biggest gap in generations, if you will. That distance has gotten a lot bigger because of technology.
I think that what's tough, especially with all of these boomers, man, like we're on the 5th boomer president, and I think that boomers are still voting for boomers, and that's typically how it works. And then since they're still the biggest voting bloc, it's going to be this way until they're not.
Grassley's a little older. Grassley's a little older than boomers.
He's just an elder boomer, but he's still one.
I mean,
he's on the very high end.
Our parents are boomers. Grassley's got a good 15.
He's not a boomer at all.
20. Yeah, he's older.
He's greatest generation.
He is. He's closer to that. Yeah, for sure.
Dude, he's post-war.
But it's going to stay this way until the boomers aren't the biggest voting bloc. More depressing news. Michael K. Williams' death was ruled an overdose featuring fentanyl in the mix, of course.
Yeah, we
sadly.
thought so. Oh.
Yeah. Yep, so we
just going
to
say this one more time. Just one more time because it's really important. I really want to get it clear to our listeners. Jack Ma, Alibaba. Jack Ma, disappear, Chinese government, Alibaba, fentanyl, Mexico, United States. The Chinese government is killing us with fentanyl. 100.
Not good.
And to make it even more clear, I mean, like we've talked about cocaine on the show before, like we've done it a couple times or whatever. This is killing current celebrities in the U.S. It killed 2 famous comedians a couple
Right.
weeks
It
ago.
can get into anybody's
it
bag.
it can get into anyone's bag. Don't think because you do a lot of coke or you've got a coke deal or something like that, it can fucking kill you out of nowhere.
Yeah, Michael K. Williams.
You need to be careful.
Blow is
doing
off the
cocaine
table.
these days. Blow is pretty much off the table unless you have a testing kit, like we said, that like lets you know if there's fentanyl in it. Because, or unless you have are working on an 8-ball that your friends have tried a day before and they're still alive.
Or there's a guy that you hate that you do blow with.
Get that kid.
Get the kit.
Get the kid.
try it.
Speaking of international politics like China, Germany had an election to replace Angela Merkel, who was not going to be chancellor again after 16 years in power. And it looks like it's actually changed from her party. Olaf Scholz and the Social Democrats appear to have taken power from Merkel's Christian Democratic Party. The guy that was supposed to like come in from, they're both centrist groups. One's center left, one's quote unquote center right. And so it's, we'll see. It's a change of party. The guy who was supposed to replace Merkel, I guess people didn't like him compared to Olaf Scholz, the leader of the Social Democrats, because the Social Democrats pulled it out in a very close race, and the results are still being verified as we tape. But looks like Germany will have a party change of leadership for the first time in 16 years.
It was 3 options. It was the Merkel clone, who I guess was so Merkelish that he was imitating her hand gesture, like the way she holds.
There was
her
a
hands.
lot of negative press on that guy.
Yeah, and then there was like a Green Party environmentalist who didn't have much experience in this guy.
Yeah, it was a big day in international news too because do you see what happened in Iceland?
Almost became the first major country with mostly women in
parliament,
right?
like in their government, right? Like so, they almost it's still like
Lots
a
of developing nations
male
actually
majority
already have
parliament, but the Iceland females are basically 50-50 with the males in parliament, which was the first time that was like happening.
Love that.
Ever in
Funny
Europe.
part about that stat though, tons of developing nations have over 50% women in parliament. It's only developed nations that
right,
don't.
right. Yeah. Well, it's because. Yeah. Never mind. And then I think gay marriage passed in Switzerland by
Switzerland.
Like two out of 3 voters, 66% vote.
Percent. They were
That's
like,
good.
yes, gay marriage, no to taxes. So which is
then-
apparently very
yeah.
Swiss. Yeah.
When my jaw
like
kind of
that.
hit the floor when I saw that Swiss headline. I was like, really? I mean,
Yeah, they don't like taxes. They love money and they like gays as well. So
And then
the
the
taxes
UK's
are
out. And then the UK's out of gas everywhere. Those are all the.
Yeah, we're gonna
major-
get to that in a moment.
Oh,
wow.
I'm sorry.
Nice. TikTok international moment. Big day for international news. Let's move it on to the top 3 trending stories here in the U.S. Number 3, Chris Cuomo, CNN anchor. His former boss at ABC, Shelley Ross, claims he sexually harassed her in front of her husband back at a work party in 2005.
In front of her husband.
In front of her husband. And this is directly, fellas, from the New York Times article that ran, I think, on Friday. He greeted her with a hug at the party and then, quote, while lowering one hand to firmly grab and squeeze the cheek of my buttock, Ross said. Cuomo told her, quote, I can do this now that you're no longer my boss, unquote. And she responded, quote, no, you can't, pushing him off while stepping back to reveal her husband had seen the entire encounter. Cuomo.
What's he going to do about it?
Yeah, it's true because Cuomo then sent an apology email at the time. And then now today, when it breaks out in the public, he refuses to talk about it besides saying, yeah, it wasn't sexual. So
What did the Cuomo's dad do for a
I
living?
don't know, man.
Did he just did they have a household? I hope, I hope he had 2 parents that were nice, but what was going on in that household with the Cuomo boys that they came
lots
out?
of competition for who can get laid the most.
Yeah.
I've never had power.
I want you to have sex with as many women as you can, sons.
Aggressively.
Yeah.
Not even like, but yeah, like, and also be,
It was one of those
be
households.
overbearing. Yeah.
What like? I mean, I know that when people get power, like they get, they do weird shit, right? Like, power corrupts, absolutely, or absolute power corrupts, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I've been around some powerful people. I've never had it, but I've been around some semi-famous powerful people, and they don't do this shit, man.
It's just the Cuomos. I think Mark's right. I mean,
It's the household the Cuomo's grew up
It's
in.
the- it's the Cuomos.
And they blame it on being Italian, but it's their one Italian dad who was a fucking pill.
Exactly, Mark.
It's the Italian men in their fucking family that are dickheads.
This guy,
It's not
Chris
all
Cuomo.
Italians.
Exactly, correct. Chris Cuomo is famous for trying to fight a random guy at a beer
Yeah, for
garden for
calling
calling him
Fredo.
Fredo. And Fredo happens to keep a fake 100-pound weight dumbbell in his office to impress chicks. And like, it's not surprising at all that a guy who tries to fight somebody for calling him Fredo, and then a guy who keeps a fake fucking weight in his office is going over the top on these girls.
Conflating the two.
Now, here's what it is.
What do you mean? Why am I conflating?
The Cuomos are to Italians as to the Shkreli's are to Albanians. They're just like the scummiest version of that, you know.
Oh, great.
Also, get this. How
Doesn't represent all of them.
How can Fredo be an ethnic slur if both Don and Michael Corleone are also Italian?
What's the most?
It's impossible.
We don't know.
Because
It could be a nickname.
You're pointing out Fredo's the worst Italian. That's why people call him Fredo. It's not because he's fucking like. It's not a dig on all Italians. It's a dig on this motherfucker.
It's calling you a snitch.
It's a dig on this motherfucker. Yeah, it's a dig on Chris
like
Cuomo.
Calling a Hispanic person, okay, Jose. You know, it's just
exactly. It's not.
Which is not okay.
It's a specific. It's a specific
Well,
person.
I back up his fight.
Did Jose do something horrible in a famous movie?
I don't know, man. I back up his fight. Yeah. If someone's disrespecting you at the beer garden, you throw hands. But the ass grabbing, saying this is
everybody's
mine.
gonna call him Fredo forever because
this is mine now. I just don't get it, bro.
I think it's how they were raised.
It's the Cuomo family, and you know what, Fredo,
the father of them.
Fredo can go ahead and hop in the soft corner with his brother, who's already been there for months. So get comfortable.
Be a weird Christmas.
Get comfortable in the soft corner, Cuomo's. Number 2, singer, actress, Grimes, 33 years old, and Elon Musk, 50 years old, split up after being together for about 3 years. So sad story. They also have the son, baby X, there. Picture of him, guys, for you. Elon.
Is that a real picture of their kid?
I think there's like henna tattoos on his face or something.
Yeah,
they
I think
added
that's a
that
fake.
in post.
Yeah.
You never know what's going on with Elon Grimes and Baby X. Elon confirmed it to Page 6. He blames it on his travels to Texas and other places for SpaceX and Tesla, and the fact that Grimes and Baby X, Elon's 6th son, like to stay in L.A. at his house where they still stay. So apparently, relations are all still good, but he's traveling too much to be with the fam.
Yeah. He's so
Tough on Family Day.
He's so rich that when he gets in breakups, he just writes off a house. It's like, that's yours now.
Oh, it's incredible. 6 sons. Imagine all the child support this man's paid. Good thing he's so rich.
If you date him for more than a month and you break up, you get a house. I mean, whichever house you prefer.
But if I was a lady, I would
in a state.
And Elon's semen was in play, I would do whatever it took to get that semen to connect with one of my eggs. If I was a lady,
it's smart. It's a smart strategy financially.
But man, he's going down there to Texas and just fucking that town of Bocas Chicas up. I read an article.
Well, he's taking it over.
Texas Monthly the other day. It's like literally.
What did they think he was going to do?
70 people versus Elon Musk just ruining their town.
Correct. That's the way it works. That's the way it's worked. When you pay a billionaire billions of dollars of tax incentives to move into a remote part of your state, he takes it over.
Well, he's just
that's how it works.
He's like a much, much more successful.
No way.
Sane McAfee. Remember when McAfee tried to take over that town in South America?
Right.
And basically did.
He's got McAfee's brain, except he can actually execute it.
Exactly.
Because he's got the skills to execute it.
He's McAfee 2.0.
Right. Moving on. Number 1, the cream of the crop today.
The cream of the crop.
And you know what it is. Probably what it is most Mondays in football season. It was an enormous sports weekend, okay? But it's not just football. There's all kind of sports I got to tell you guys about. First up, the Ryder Cup, where the USA absolutely put Team Europe into a body bag at the Ryder Cup. The score was 19-9 at the end, making it one of the biggest ass kickings in the event's history. It's been running since 1927. Way to go, USA.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
I like that, but it's kind of like beating the shit out of your cousin. Like I want to beat an enemy.
Yeah, but Europe's been winning most of them recently. So.
I know, but I want to play China or Russia in golf.
Well, but this is why would you want to play them? We just crush. Because smash. These are the best. It's Europe and the U.S. These are the best two.
Will.
Oh, yeah, but Russia doesn't play
They
golf.
wouldn't agree to that because they know they'd lose.
What's better, the Patriot or Rocky IV?
Patriot's
pretty good.
Actually,
that's a tough question.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a really close call.
They're both pretty good.
Yeah.
Depends what you're in the mood for. Probably Rocky IV. Probably Rocky IV.
Rocky
IV. A lot shorter.
But you could put up pretty much any movie against Rocky IV, and it's going to be Rocky IV.
The Patriot or Red Dawn?
I'd say the Patriot over Red Dawn, probably.
Yeah.
Didn't say which Red Dawn.
Either the old or the remake. Moving on. College football. Number 6 Oklahoma barely held on to beat West Virginia. So they were number like 3 or 4, so they slid down to number 6 after that. So not good.
And the fans were calling for Spencer Rattler's head.
Yeah,
Oklahoma fans want him out.
Oklahoma and Texas are going to have a hard time in the SEC, I think, when they come over next year. Arkansas, shocked. Oh, my gosh, everybody's shocked. Number 7, Texas A&M, even though Jazzy Canadian and a bunch of the other Discord bettors, including myself, took Arkansas money line because that was the obvious play. Clemson got beat by NC State because, like Texas A&M, they were very overrated. Notre Dame blew out Wisconsin. Surprising blowout, really. Baylor beat Iowa State in a late-game shocker. Dave Aranda getting a big win there for Baylor. Michigan didn't beat Rutgers by much, which was pretty unimpressive after everybody thought Michigan was the hot shit first couple weeks. Georgia Tech smashed UNC in an upset. Florida State continued losing to everybody.
Yeah.
So they're 0-4 for like the first time ever.
And looking at their schedule, outside of UMass, maybe Syracuse next week, they're favored to beat UMass by like 20, but like they have Syracuse who they're like favored to beat, and then they have 6 guaranteed L's. They have like heavy hitters like Miami, they have Florida,
like Clemson eventually.
Clemson. They have like so many.
VT's going to smash them if they play them, I'm sure.
They don't play them this year.
That would have been an easy win for VT.
I think they got Boston College is undefeated, and they're going to lose. They're going to go like 2-10. Florida State.
Tough for Florida State. Tough year for the Noles. Oregon State, the Beavs, Pat, crushed USC. A little bit of a surpriser there. Lots of people won a lot of money on that. And LSU atoned for giving up 600 yards last year by beating Mississippi State in Starkville.
Man, those odds.
They gave up less than 600? Nice.
They gave up 450 about, I think, Mark. So, yeah,
those odds makers dogging LSU, man. Idiots, bro.
Well, they actually... Did they cover this? No, they didn't. The LSU didn't cover the spread.
Oh, it was like 6 points, right?
It was really close in the end. It was 4.5.
Give a little bit more respect.
They won by 3
to the squad. You know,
I thought it was handicapped pretty well, actually.
The Notre Dame game, Wisconsin game that you talked about, it was a blowout. It was actually like up until like mid to late
that
third quarter.
That game wasn't handicapped well. Wisconsin was the favorites.
Well, yeah, no, they were, and I had that one right, but they were basically tied until the mid third quarter, and Wisconsin's offense is terrible, and then their quarterback threw like 3 pick sixes back to back after like a touchdown. So there's like 4 touchdowns scored by Notre Dame in like 3 minutes.
Well, and that's even more devastating for Wisconsin because that quarterback, the Notre Dame quarterback, went to Wisconsin and they got rid of him for the new guy
who was terrible.
Then their old guy came in and beat the fuck out of him. So that's just brutal. That's brutal. That'd be like if Joe Burrow had gotten the chance at that perfect season to go and just destroy Ohio State.
It's a little bit like Rocky IV.
Did they play him in the semifinal? I can't remember. Anyways, next up, boxing.
Ivan Drago.
It's a lot like Rocky IV. Boxing. Shout out to the Discord where Jesus Loves Knockouts called the plus 275 upset where Alexander Usyk dominated Anthony Joshua on Saturday night, winning the WBA, IBF, WBO World Heavyweight titles all by unanimous decision.
Oh damn! It was 3 governing bodies up in that motherfucker.
Yeah, he got 3 belts.
He got 3 belts. Here he is, rocking all 3 of them.
That's rare.
Crushed Anthony Joshua, who's always been very overrated in boxing. Good call by Jesus Loves Knockouts in the Discord. In the UFC, Low Life Louie and others in the Discord had a great night picking fights as Robbie Lawler beat Nick Diaz, and Valentina Shevchenko and Alexander Volkanovski both defended their belts. Lots of people giving out the winners in the chat there. And in European footy, shout out to Nolan from Florida in the Discord who called the Arsenal-Tottenham over. Leeds lost, but I'm really only including soccer to hammer home the point that the gambling thread in Discord has some winners being tossed out there every single weekend, especially during football season.
How do you get it?
You go to patreon.com/hardfactor and you send in the car. And that's how you get up in the money-making threads. And finally, in the NFL, the Chargers upset the Chiefs. Ooh, a shocker. Sadly, Andy Reid was hospitalized after the game. Reports are he's supposed to be okay, but at his size and age, we're all concerned, I'm sure.
Come on, Chiefs. You're fucking killing Andy Reid. Let's get some wins for him.
Hasn't he been through enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, he really has. But
aside for the championships,
right.
It's bad over there.
The one.
He only has one championship.
Well, he went to a couple, didn't he? Didn't he go to two others?
He's been to 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Been to 3, only won 1. 2 with the Chiefs, 1 with the Eagles, yeah. I don't know, he's been to probably 12 AFC, NFC championships.
He's been to the dance a lot.
Also,
been to the Final
Christmas
Four 10 to 12 times, yeah.
over there.
The Saints beat the Patriots pretty soundly.
Yeah, his kids suck bad.
Oh, yeah. The Falcons upset the Giants in the game of potentially the 2 worst teams in the NFL.
Well, the one kid that committed suicide, I take it back. That's sad. The one kid that didn't commit suicide and almost killed 2 young people is a dick.
Permanently
That's
injured.
what I meant to say. Yes.
Yeah, those kids.
That's the guy who's jerked, not the kid who committed suicide. I want to make that very clear.
Yeah.
That's not funny.
Agreed.
And,
yeah. I put a pause on my Heineken jersey. I told FedEx to hold it, so I don't want it yet.
Why?
I just don't want it yet. I don't think he earned me wearing it. Threw a couple picks. Just put a pause on it.
Yeah, I didn't include the game because it went exactly as the Vegas predicted it, except for everybody scored more points. Cash that over, baby.
Yeah.
The Ravens needed Justin Tucker to hit a 66-yarder, which is the new NFL record, in the last second to beat the Lions. That's the second time the Lions have been beaten by the NFL record-setting longest field goal.
Oh, no. At the end of the game, too? Both times. First of all, that was just the absolute best kick of all time. Literally,
doinked off the crossbar.
Quite literally, doinked off the crossbar and went in. But also, did you see that it should have never happened because they got a clear delay of game? Like a 3-second long past the 0-second delay of game that they just didn't call because they wanted to see the fucking field goal attempt.
It wasn't on the actual kick, so it must have been like the play before.
It was.
Yeah.
So there was 7 seconds left, and they wanted to get a few more yards because 66-yarder. They're at fucking midfield. They're on the 49. So they snapped the ball 3 seconds after the clock hit 0, and Jackson was calling for it because he's like, all right, this is definitely a delay game. And when they snapped it to him, he just threw it directly out of bounds, ran no time off the clock because he was like, fuck, don't throw the flag, and they didn't. And then they just marched Tucker out, and then he kicks the field goal. Like, it was like afterwards, every single commentator ran it back and brought in like the official, and they're like, "Look how bad you guys missed this delay of game."
The Ravens, man, it's a solid team. You got Lamar Jackson, you got John Harbaugh, you got the refs, you got Justin Tucker, you got Patrick Queen.
It's tough to
Ravens, beat. They're contenders. The Bengals, but they barely beat the Lions. The Bengals beat the Steelers with more Burrow to Chase touchdowns. So Chase already has 4 touchdowns. I don't know, his rookie wide receiver year. That's going to happen a lot in the future. The Rams handled the Buccaneers pretty surprisingly, pretty easily, really. The Vikings beat the Seahawks also with relative ease, which was surprising. And the Dolphins took the Raiders to overtime with Jacoby Brissett. Otherwise, pretty much as the wise guys predicted, Packers and Niners going at it as we tape. Also, preseason NHL hockey has started, and with that much sports to talk about on a Monday, I'd just like to say that I fucking love football season, fellas. And that's today's cup of coffee in the big time. You guys too? You like it, fans?
Yeah.
It's a good time.
It is. It's nice. Which was brought to you today by Crowd Health. Have you guys ever looked at your health plan and thought, man, those are some high monthly bills to still have to pay a high deductible out if I do have to go get any kind of treatment?
Every month.
Yeah, all the time, right? Maybe you have insurance but barely use it, or maybe you need coverage but you think you just can't afford it. Sadly, all of those situations pretty common condition in America. You either go uninsured or pay through the nose for a high deductible plan with questionable coverage, but that's where Crowd Health comes in. This new service isn't health insurance. It's a better way to pay medical expenses. Crowd Health is a community of people who are tired of paying for a broken system, a place where you can get a simple, flexible, and affordable way to pay for your health care. Membership is a monthly subscription, so start it or stop it whenever it's convenient for you. Simple and transparent pricing, customized to fit your needs. Crowd Health lowers your monthly health care costs, and you can see any doctor you want. Use their app, find nearly any doctor in the country ranked 1 to 5 stars, book them, scan the bills, and throw them away. Crowd Health takes it from there by taking advantage of cash payment discounts to medical providers. Press a button to receive virtual care anytime, anywhere with their app as well. 100% of your monthly membership pays for actual healthcare costs, helping the whole Crowd Health community stay healthy while keeping more money in your pocket. Crowd Health is able to offer amazing prices because of its community of health-conscious members. But they have an amazing offer just for our listeners. Get your first 6 months for just $99 per month for paying for healthcare services. That's a savings of almost 50% versus their standard pricing, and a lot less than one of those crappy high deductible plans that you might be in already. Just go to joincrowdhealth.com/99 and enter code HARDFACTOR at sign up. That's joincrowdhealth.com/99, promo code HARDFACTOR. Crowd Health is not health insurance. It's a community-powered alternative. Terms and conditions may apply. And guys, just hold on 1 second here, and you can just tell everybody what I'm doing, because the show is also
what I did earlier today.
Yeah.
You're getting a caliper packet out.
You know I am. You know I am.
You're going to be relaxed in 15, 20 minutes?
Probably as little as 10, Mark.
Yeah.
I just took a swift stick straight to the tongue. Because today's episode is also brought to you by our incredible longtime sponsor, Caliper CBD. I absolutely love Caliper CBD. Love it so much. Just took a swift stick mid-show. They've got tasteless CBD powder for mixing with drinks and food, or flavored packs that go straight to the tongue, and they act fast. Anytime I want to chill, Caliper CBD is the move 100% of the time. You know I'm a whole plant guy, but Caliper CBD takes advantage of all the great parts of cannabis without the high. Just that sweet, calming CBD, exactly 20 milligrams per packet. Caliper delivers 30 times more CBD in the first 30 minutes versus CBD oil. Get all the benefits of CBD in just 10 minutes. 10 minutes, there you go, hits you fast. Some CBD oils can take over an hour to absorb. That's bullshit. There's no weird taste either with Caliper. No oily residue, mixes easily into any food or drink. All natural, vegan, non-GMO, free of fillers, added chemicals, and artificial flavors. And get 20% off your first order when you use promo code FACTOR at trycaliper.com/factor. You can go to TryCaliper CBD. You can try Caliper CBD risk-free for 30 days. If you don't love it, they'll give you a full refund. That's trycaliper.com/factor. Don't forget promo code FACTOR for 20% off your first order.
Nice. Thank you, Will. Do you guys know how many Starbucks are in the U.S.?
I want to guess.
Yeah. I want you to guess.
Okay.
If you get within 1,000, I'll be impressed.
Ooh, that's a good hint.
Yeah.
That's a good hint that you just gave. 50 states, right? Times, let's say
500.
500 seems reasonable.
I mean, in California, there's got to be like 5,000.
So it's 25,000. How many?
A little over 15,000.
Okay.
Yeah. What about how many subways are there? You want to play that game?
More than that. 22,000.
Pretty close. 24,000. About 24,000. So you got 15,000 Starbucks. You got like 24,000 Subways. Starbucks dominates the coffee or beverage world, and Subway dominates the fast food. And both have massive footprints in a certain place. You mentioned California. How about in New York City, the city that never sleeps? They have a ton of Starbucks and a ton of Subways. But there's one business that has a much larger footprint, or should I say handprint, in New York City. Do you know what that is? You might have heard Will say at the beginning of the show.
Rub and tug places?
Rub and tug places.
Oh, handy joints.
Handy handprints.
Get on Tug Maps. Check out what's around you.
Yes, Rub Maps.
Rub Maps. Sorry.
Yes,
I've only heard about it.
We're gonna get to it. I did my research on. Cool. I went to. It's illegal massage parlors. Apparently, there are more than double the illegal massage parlors in New York City than Starbucks, and more than the Subways. So everyone's getting their 6 inches yanked off to completion, and then falling right asleep due to caffeine deficiencies.
That's good though. But that's good though. See, like, look, we talked about how like violent crimes are up with this last couple of years. People need to be getting the tension released.
Yeah, there's no way you commit a triple murder right after you got tugged off, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be a little bit more relaxed, at least for like
except for that one sex addict earlier this year that said he killed all the Asian women because
in Atlanta.
Besides him. Apparently there are as many as 630 known illicit massage parlors in New York City. And look, I know New York City is big, right? It's the Big Apple, but 630 rub and tugs sounds like if you have 30 minutes to kill, you can brighten your day pretty quickly in New York. You know what I'm saying? Lighten your load, so to speak. You know. Get a hand job. According to Hayrick Research, a company that is an intelligence-driven counter-trafficking organization that focuses exclusively on illicit massage industry. It shows that Queens,
What?
Yeah, this place.
Run that back one more time.
This Hayrick
people
Research
traffic
is
people for this job.
No, they are counter trafficking, anti-trafficking. So they get all of the data about sex trafficking, which I was going to get to the next point, to like to bring awareness to it, because
So I'm saying
yes.
people do sex traffic people exclusively for rub and tug jobs.
So not all of them, but yes, obviously
Okay.
a lot of rub and tug employees are obviously sex trafficked workers, and that's why Hyrick Research likes to do the information. They show that Queens alone has 269 brothels, which is 5 times the amount of Starbucks, and no one in Queens is complaining about a lack of Starbucks. So. That's a ton of brothels in Queens. And with that many brothels, obviously, it's not all volunteers, that are making a ton of money for themselves. You may have caught that the company does counter trafficking. It's sex trafficking we're talking about. There are a ton of sex trafficked young women who, from a very early age, are forced to have sex with horny New Yorkers against their will. Obviously, this happens everywhere. Unfortunately, it happens everywhere, but we're focusing on New York for this story, so don't get mad at me, you perverts in New York. The brothels probably aren't going anywhere due to a 1-2 punch combo in New York. One of an incredibly high demand, as according to a report from the Polaris Project and work done by a sex trafficking expert. Sex massage parlors in the U.S. are about between a $3 and $4 billion a year industry, which is a quarter of overall massage industry's revenues. So for every 75 cents to the dollar made from above the board massages, 25 cents come from below the board and they're sticky. 25 cents on the dollar to every massage out there. If you think about that, everyone that's getting a massage, a quarter of that massage money in the entire industry is from hand jobs.
Do you think people that are getting hand jobs instead of massages are the same people that are telling you that they're getting them? Is that what you're saying? Like let's say
No.
You have like 6 or 8 buddies that are like, I'm a massage guy. 25%.
2 of them are getting.
Okay.
Yeah, a quarter of those guys are getting hand jobs.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
So it's just like saying out of all massage money in the U.S.,
Yes,
25% is for hand jobs. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it.
That makes sense. I'm not surprised.
Yeah. The second part of the 2-part combo is that New York City legislators have desired to decriminalize the prostitution and sex workers, a push that was led by Senator Liz Kruger earlier this year and resulted in Manhattan District Attorney Cyrus Vance Jr. announcing this April that his office would stop prosecuting and pursuing prostitution and unlicensed massage arrests, and also that they would drop over 900 such cases that existed dating back to the 1970s. So they're backtracking and expunging people's records and getting them out of jail if there are. And they're also going to get rid of 5,000 loitering cases for the purpose of prostitution. Loitering for the purpose of prostitution is just hookers walking the streets.
But I still don't understand. Okay, so how does that help anything? I feel like legalization of prostitution is where you need to go, because then you could actually monitor who's being brought in for the jobs, blah, blah, blah. There could be actually
some people think this either is legalizing or might go there.
No. Because if it's still illegal, then you can't monitor the employment aspect of it.
Right.
You still need to legalize in order to be able to look at people's paperwork and everything, make sure everything's on the level.
So I agree with you.
Taxes.
The goal should be to stop sex trafficking, obviously, and I think that everyone agrees with that. But how
can you if the jobs are illegal?
While they're trying to figure that out, what they don't want to do is they're saying re-victimize the sex traffickers by then arresting them. That's what they're saying. But
they're like, this does nothing, but at least it's better than what we've been doing.
Right. It benefits the Johns.
Okay,
exactly.
Great. So it's but they acknowledge it really does nothing because they still can't stop sex trafficking just by letting people out of jail.
They're just turning a blind eye to it.
They're just turning a blind eye to it. So it's actually just fucking stupid.
They
screwed
does
up,
nothing.
Though. When is America going to realize that Nevada has the right laws? There's no taxes, prostitution, everything's legal.
Well, what it does is I'll let Pat give his point in a second, but what it does is it allows for these massage parlors to act with almost complete impunity. Yeah. They're not worried because the top cop has said don't prosecute, so they're not worried about
probably
cops
shipping in more girls.
Doors.
It's like they're amping up the shipments of sex workers from overseas.
And guys are coming. Yeah, Pat, what were you gonna say, Pat?
I was saying that the anti-sex trafficking bill fucked up big time because essentially all our legislators were trying desperately to end child sex trafficking. Totally awesome, noble cause, obviously, but then it ruined legitimate consensual sex traffickers industries. Like they can't get on Backpage, they're put in unsafe situations, they can't make money doing this thing that we knew they were doing, and the bill wasn't to prevent grown adults who are consensually entering into prostitution from doing that. It was to stop trafficking.
So when is somebody from New York going to be like, hand up, we should have done it like Nevada? Sorry.
Yeah, they're gonna hopefully get there next year. We'll see. But this year, what's happening is places like the Ming Happy Spa on Montague Street. Is that the right way to say it? In Brooklyn, on Montague, on Montague Street.
Say it however you want to say it.
Which is I don't want to offend our listeners with the pronunciation. I didn't run this one through Google pronunciation. My bad. It's a few blocks away from the Brooklyn Courthouse in the fancy part of town, and it's on the second floor, and it's next to businesses like UPS, a high-end women's boutique, and an urgent care, just in case you have a sex accident when you're there. So like this is what's happening is these places are just operating next to like, huge businesses. Here's an ad for the Ming Happy Spa. It says, new Asian masseuses, sweet, beautiful, and sexy. Ming Happy Spa. And it's got a picture of an Asian masseuse lifting her skirt up and showing off her red panties.
Wow. I mean, that's just a straight up prostitution ad.
That's on their website. That's something, a normal masseuse would probably be embarrassed about if that was in the company's front page website ad. Like, can we retake that photo? I accidentally flashed my crotch. No, it's better this way. Okay, I mean, I'd prefer if we could change it, but you're the boss.
Those are the exact same
you're the
flyers.
master.
Right, those are the exact same flyers they hand you for escorts when you land in Vegas. Like that's the same.
That place is right next to the UPS next in Brooklyn, in like the fancy part of town. So while doing the research for the segment, I found out that there's a fairly well-known Yelp for sexual massage parlors where you can find exactly where all these places are and read reviews from perverts. And so naturally, I went to that site, which I wasn't going to give out the name for, but we already did. And I would. And the reason
it was a big hobby on tour. You'd get bored in the van and
let's check out Rub Maps.
See what this city has to offer.
Here's why you got to be careful with checking out Rub Maps. I took the brunt of it for you guys because when you go to rubmaps.com, there's a message that says this page has been taken down. This domain no longer exists anymore. And then if you just Google Rub Maps, the top thing that comes up is rubmaps.ch, which is the version that does exist. And I probably got a virus when I went in there, but it's very user friendly. And while I didn't want to
Chechnya.
While I didn't want to sign up for their subscription and give them my credit card info to read the reviews, which is exactly what you have to do. You can sort by city and state, but then when you get to the parlor of your choice, if you want to read the user reviews of people that got hand jobs, you have to pay them. So what I did then was I took the information of the name of the massage parlor and I cross-referenced in Google Maps. Would you like to see some of those reviews?
Yes,
more than anything.
So let's start with the Ming Happy Spa, like we said. Peter Kalma, who's left 11 reviews 2 months ago, said Sasha is a serious masseuse. She did a great job with massage, as well as a crack here and there. Good stretch, too. You won't be disappointed. So he's like saying it's a good massage, right? Okay, let's read the next couple reviews from Ming. Let's do this one first. This guy just says, where is it? Here it is. Happy ending massage from Aman Cohen. He just lets you know exactly what it is.
3 stars.
Yeah,
dude,
3 stars.
5-star. Hilarious.
It is what it is.
Yeah, and then this guy leaves 1 star. Martinet. A lot of these reviews are from guys. It says, sure, happy ending. Only one nice girl, but everyone rushes to finish in and out a kind of thing. The girls, the old ladies, don't like to be touched. If you ask questions, they tend to ignore you or respond in mumbling. Hygiene, not that good. They use the same lotion for everyone, the same towels for everyone, and they refold the towel to make it look clean. So just everyone's jizz getting mixed together.
Followed by the ghost face emoji.
Yeah.
If you're leaving emojis in your Yelp hand job reviews, you got problems. Man.
But I want to bring it back to this guy who just left you a 5-star review. So what was up with him?
I'm sure he got a happy ending too.
Yeah.
He just loved it.
The guys that are giving shitty reviews after going to the hand job parlor are just mad. There's nothing that can make them not mad at the world. Those are just mad at the world, unmovable, mad at the world guys.
Why are you giving 1-star reviews and outing yourself for going to a happy ending place? All right, let's go to Rain Spa, which is in Manhattan on 89th Street. CR says 1 star, bad massage, barely any effort. Also, they ask for a lot of money when turned over to do certain things. And then
obviously, CR, if you try to fuck the prostitute, and
it costs
you're
more money.
Upgrading to sex from a hand job, yes, it costs more money.
Basically, the other thing I found
what do you
out
not
is
get about that?
They charge you like $50 to $60 just to get in the door, and then it's at least a 50% tip to start with the dick touching. It's like the tip is how they pay for that. Let's last review. Go ahead, Pat.
It's kind of like how if you throw open an Uber, it's $50. It's the same deal, right? Like
exactly. If your dick throws up. Okay, so last review from Rain Spa again in Manhattan. This is the second of them. It's another 1-star review from FSE. It says, "Don't get trapped in a small room. Bad service and terrible skills at all. They will charge you under duress while you're undressed. Robbery." And then the owner of Rain Spa responded, "So sorry for your last experience. We'll try our best to improve our service and management." Come on.
I mean, it's a rub and tug. Look, if you're going to go get a rub and tug,
responding, come on.
you get the service you get.
You come back down here, and I will personally jerk you off until you're happy, okay?
Exactly. That's exactly what's happening there. So, New York, it looked like on Rub Maps, these places are everywhere, but New York City has a lot of them.
I'm a hands-on kind of manager, okay?
Yeah.
That's just my management style.
Exactly.
I mean, it just seems like
Getting
if
a
there's
little
so
handsy.
many of these and everybody
Can't
claims
put my finger on it.
that sex trafficking is such a big problem, why wouldn't they just do the things it takes to get rid of the problem?
Well, also, how does Rub Maps exist? It just literally points out every single one of these places.
You gotta
Right, that's what I'm saying. It
find them
exists
somehow.
so much.
The FBI has like the entire list of places.
They can't even
at
prosecute.
their convenience.
They can't even prosecute
Yeah.
because they would just be the courts should be full of rub and tug cases.
There's about 1 million of them.
Right.
Well,
so they
There are more
have to
than
do
there's
something.
more than subways.
So they have to do something other than just turn a blind eye. Because if they just turn a blind eye, it's only the sex trafficking will only get bigger.
The demand is there.
Yeah, it's crazy. This is insane.
I don't
New
think they
York's
have
crazy.
subpoena power in Chechnya, so the users are probably safe.
Well, I didn't sign up for the subscription, but I definitely got whatever viruses they gave me.
Well, just every my point is Nevada has the right laws. Everybody needs to come around on that.
I don't think you can get an STD from a handjob site.
No, I know. I know what you're doing, but I meant like
Maybe warts,
computer viruses.
human papillomavirus.
Like my computer screen just goes.
I got it.
What? Wait, what? Where'd I go? No, Rub Maps. That's it. So yeah, but whoa. This must be that bug I was talking about. You know what? Help me write that story, guys. WordTune. Every year, U.S. businesses waste over $400 billion. That's $400 billion because bad writing causes confusion, misses the mark, or just takes too long to get to the point. On the flip side, better writing helps businesses win and impress customers, enhance brand perception, improve internal communications, and strengthen relationships with critical partners. Better, faster writing means better business, which is why your team and you individually needs WordTune for Teams. WordTune it's huge what we have going on with them. For our listeners that want to improve their entire team's writing right now, WordTune Teams is 50% off. That's 50%. That's half off. That's absurd. I've been using WordTune every day to help you cheat on the news, and I have been blown away by how easy it is to use and how much it improves my writing. It just gives you so many options to improve whatever sentence or idea you're having trouble articulating. WordTune improves writing efficiency up to 4 times better. Faster writing means better business. When can your team use WordTune? I don't know. Anytime. Anytime you write anything, an email, anything, any sort of business. Exactly. It improves at performances on projects, anything from internal emails to press releases, sales outreach to customer service support, just literally anything. You just think about how many times you're typing into the computer.
Emails, oh man,
it's all day.
You got an employee who can't write an email. WordTune.
So easy to use. You highlight the thing.
Super tired and you're like, what am I trying to say?
Yes.
That's when I use WordTune.
It does really help you. All right, so right now our listeners can get 50% off WordTune for Teams at wordtune.com/hardfactor. If you want to see the benefit of WordTune, you can try WordTune for free at wordtune.com/hardfactor. But this 50% discount is only available for limited time and only available for Teams, the WordTune Teams. You might never see a discount like this again. Your team can start writing better right away for 50% off. That's half price at wordtune.com/hardfactor.
Hell yeah, guys. Real quick, now that the world's opening back up, there's so many new thrills on the horizon, and whether you've been in a relationship for years or you're just getting started or, I don't know, excited to get back out there, meet some new people, when the moment comes, you want to be ready. Pun intended. Roman ready, guys. Here's the deal. Roman, new sponsor, GetRoman.com. These guys handle everything. They handle ED, issues. They handle testosterone support. If you got some cold sore situations, they have solutions for that. I know I do. And the mask is going away, so I'm gonna have to now take a week up the
Mask
show.
going away, wintertime coming back. Yeah,
I'm gonna get a mouth herpes outbreak, and then you're not gonna see me for a week. But not anymore.
Where's
I'm
Pat?
gonna
We have to
I'm
make
gonna
up
get
some
Roman.
bullshit excuse. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But the coolest thing that Roman has, dude, look, hand up, right? I just said, I got the mouth herpes, bummer. Who cares? Hand up.
Who doesn't?
I've been
who
known
hasn't
to
played a game of beer pong?
Yeah.
prematurely ejaculate. Can't always keep
Who
it together
hasn't?
when it's time. There's definitely been a couple times, which is every time I've had 6 beers where I've been able to keep it together. But other than that, sometimes maybe my partner is like, what? And I'm like, and then we're done. And that just isn't good for anyone. They got these wipes that'll take care of that.
It's just too good.
It's just too good. You go to GetRoman.com, get a free online evaluation, and you get ongoing care for all that stuff I just talked about. Roman Ready equals confidence, the confidence that you know you can rise to the occasion in the moment. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. And if medication's appropriate, bam, ships free to you. 2-day shipping. Holy shit. Whole process is straightforward, convenient, and most importantly, discreet. Keep in mind, our ancestors, right, the generation before us and before them, they used to just not do this stuff because they would have to go to like a pharmacy and it was all weird. But you could just do it at GetRoman.com. Super easy. But if you're going to go to GetRoman.com/hardfactor.
Oh, yeah.
Complete that visit online. Take your ED without leaving home. Complete an online visit today. Connect with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional. That is GetRoman.com/hardfactor. And if you're prescribed, get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. Damn. Okay. Yeah, so you really have no reason not to go. So make sure you're ready to have the confidence and control this fall.
I might do the trivia on Friday with an erection and not tell anyone. You can't see below the chest.
All right. Go for it, Mark. What less blood in your brain.
It's time for the TikTok International Moment.
Right,
Yes,
guys. Britain. Great Britain. Let's go there first. Britain is in the midst of some major supply chain issues. Since January, after Britain completed the final stage of Brexit, employers have been unable to freely recruit European workers. And one of the industries that's felt this the hardest is the trucking and transportation industries. There is a massive shortage of available truck drivers, and that has left supermarket shelves empty and caused long lines at gas stations. And in response to one of the many unintended effects of Brexit, Prime Minister Boris Johnson reversed course over the weekend and has offered thousands upon thousands of visas to foreign truck drivers in an attempt to put a proverbial Band-Aid on the issue. And
Wow.
yeah, Johnson's decision has left members of the Conservative Party absolutely hopping mad. But not because bringing in foreign truck drivers undercuts one of the major points of Brexit that they fought so hard for and also makes them look like idiots. They're mad for a reason that you might not think. So a British economist speaking on behalf of the Conservative Party told the BBC, quote, "Britain is a very old country, and most of its plumbing and sewer systems were designed during the Victorian era. Yes, the supply chain issues are hurting our economy, but that's a chihuahua bite compared to the massive-sized plumbing bills the people of the United Kingdom are going to be on the hook for after 6,000 foreign truck drivers have their ways with our loos." That's their toilets. Yeah, and a fair point it is, guys. According to a study funded by toilet maker Toto that was published in the International Labor Review, truck drivers statistically take some of the largest and also hardest dumps of all occupations, only second to sumo wrestlers.
Yeah, if they're anything like the handyman that came over last week, the UK's in trouble.
So,
That was a real quote from that guy?
no.
Yeah.
Come on, man. They're just going to be punished, just shipping a bunch
Punishing.
of truck drivers to the country with old
Just
plumbing.
punishing.
It's
Also,
bad.
they could just wait, 15 years until all of Boris Johnson's kids are old enough. There could be an army of truck drivers there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, because, okay.
So
He's
wait,
got a lot
why
of kids.
can't English people just drive the damn trucks?
That's what I'm saying.
They can. Well, okay, so
Well, right, but yeah.
quick left turn. The idea with Brexit partly was, hey, if we cut the foreign work supply, right? That'll force or put a greater pressure on locals or UK folks to then take those jobs, and it just has not happened. So
So they're just like, no, we're not
it
driving
would kind of be like, imagine if we kicked them all out, like some people in this country are talking about, and then no one showed up to clean anyone's house. It would be like that. And then
or
build
houses.
Why isn't my house clean? And it's like,
Right.
oh, because you don't want to do that.
You
job.
also couldn't get a
Or
house built.
Quite literally drive trucking supplies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So sorry. Anyway, what is a serious stat, and it is, an understandable concern because according to a 2018 report from the BBC that's real, London water pipes sprung leaks 36,000 times in the 6 years between 2012 and 2018.
Wow. Well, they're going to have to deal with a few clogged pipes from nasty shits, but they got to get the supplies. And Nando's doesn't have any chicken. They're shutting down their biggest chicken restaurants and stuff. Like, they got to get the supplies.
No,
Damn.
the
They
Brexit
got to
thing-
get them in.
If Elon wasn't so busy, he could come in there and just fleece them for his automated truck line right now. Like he could probably go over to England and sell them like 8 times the markup on those.
What do you mean?
automated trucks.
The cars just drive themselves. What do you mean?
Dude, no, yeah, Brexit's falling apart. They're just getting punched in the face daily.
Yeah, but what if Elon goes in and he's like, "I got you. Don't worry about it, Boris. I'm gonna give you these automated trucks, and then he won't deliver them for like 50 years."
As long as Lombard Trucking is listening to the show, we don't talk about those automated trucks.
That's true.
All right.
He's
Guys,
got time. You see his ride? He's
is
washed
Lombard
it down this weekend. It's looking sweet.
Is Lombard owner operator? Yeah, that truck
He's
is
an owner operator. Come on.
He's a beast.
Yang Gang. Notorious Indian gangster, 30-year-old Jitendra Goji. He was standing trial for murder in New Delhi on Thursday when justice was served in the courtroom in a way that did not please the court. 2 lawyers entered the courtroom ready to kill, and I don't mean with their fees, because these lawyers weren't lawyers at all. They were hitmen disguised as lawyers. So they had a suit on and a sense of superiority, but then also loneliness. These gunmen administered the death penalty to Goji via bullet, making him a habeas corpus. But then they got a dose of quid pro quo, as they were then promptly killed by bullet from the Delhi police.
Oh shit!
Oh yeah, that's a suicide hit right there. That's a you're gonna die when you pull the trigger.
Yeah, we'll dress up like lawyers and go into the courtroom. It's a perfect plan. How do you dress up like a lawyer?
In a suit. Just
You got a suit,
briefcase
and glasses.
It's classic.
Glasses.
One of Goji's suspected killers, Sunil Man, was a childhood friend. Oh no! Before they became deadly rivals. This is according to the Hindustan Times. The two had fought a bloody turf war for more than a decade before them and another man was killed in the court. So there you go. Yeah, nuts, man.
You really hate somebody when you go on a suicide hit to get them.
Right.
I mean, because that's the ultimate. It's done. It's done after that.
Yeah, I don't know what courtrooms are like in India. I mean, I could imagine in the United States you could do that without getting killed, but maybe they're like
I
more
don't know,
heavily
man.
armed.
You pull out a gun in court, you're going to get shot for sure.
Yeah, but I'm
I
not.
think.
not
They
shitting on
did it
bailiffs.
in The Godfather. I think.
But they're the rustiest of all law enforcement. I mean,
And they tried to do it in
They're still packing, though.
Boondock Saints too. Yeah, usually it ends up and you get killed right away. Maybe it was one of those things like we'll take care of your family forever, and like they were like in debt type thing. So they.
Well, that
No,
sounds
I
like
mean-
a prearranged. Like we're not going to make it out of this, but somebody carry on the business after I'm gone.
That's why. These guys are both 30 years old. I mean, and they're international or they're notorious gangsters, and they're
It's a
childhood friends.
Short lifespan being a gangster.
It's wild. They maybe just were disrespected.
There you go. Keeping it in India, people outside of the courtroom may have been surprised as to why they were hearing the sweet sounds of traditional flute, tabla, and conch shell music instead of the ambulance sirens they were expecting to treat the 3 gangsters inside that were permanently resting their cases. And that's because New Delhi's Union Road Transport Minister, Nitin Gadkari, has confirmed that the sound of ambulance sirens will soon be replaced by the sounds of melodious instruments, the flute, the harmonium, the tabla, and of course the conch shell. In other news, New Delhi's Union Road Transport Minister, Nitin Gadkari, has effectively killed New Delhi's flute, harmonium, tabla, and conch shell concert industry. One Indian flautist was quoted as saying, "It was hard enough to get someone to come out to a flute concert before it made them think of dead friends and relatives. Now it's impossible." And I agree.
Yeah.
Who would have thought there would have been a scenario where there would be more crying during a flute concert than there currently is?
Yeah. And the conch shells. I mean, you got some guy like trying to do a beachy vibe, and he's, come on, that's terrible. It's terrible for those industries.
It's kind of like gonna create a lot of work for the ambulance because nothing says "get out of the way" like the sweet sounds of a flute, right?
Yeah.
It's just gonna be a lot of splats.
They're playing the Little Mermaid.
Didn't you hear the flute coming?
Under the sea.
This is because there's
what
been
was
so
the
many
reason?
deaths around to COVID India that it's affecting people's mental health. They're just
They
the
don't
constant ambulance sirens.
So they're gonna play fun sounds.
Oh,
Yeah.
that
Yeah. It's
that's
terrible.
ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So they're gonna,
So, I mean,
they're gonna
like,
trick your
look.
mind, like Pat's saying, by playing nice sounds, and then you're gonna connotate those with horrible things. So they're just getting rid of one noise and replacing it with a noise that you're gonna hate.
Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, the flute industry's dead, and that's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hey, as I said, or as Will said, go to patreon.com/hardfactor if you want to check out the Patreon, bonus shows, Discord, trivia this weekend coming up. Hey, if you can, support us, buy some merch. That'd be really helpful. Store.hardfactor.com. And
The Tiz. It's looking really good. Get in there, check out the Tiz line. That's all I'm saying.
great fucking day.